Alrighty, welcome back to Power Up with Pride 2023. Thank you all so much for joining us. You may not have recognized my voice because I totally didn't just spend 2 hours doing a run of Rage just now, and you definitely haven't heard me before. Certainly that couldn't be the case. My name is Dangerous. I'm going to be your host for the next few runs. We've got two awesome runs coming up from a very lovely runner named asuka424, who will be starting out with next Machina. Asuka, take it away.
Never heard of them. Hi, I'm asuka424, and yes, this is something that people aren't used to seeing from me too often. An actual game. This is Next Machina, or aka Death Machine. It is a shoot 'em up, and with me I have a wonderful commentator who, again, you might have heard them earlier. Feel free to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Rilkun. You can call me Ray. I go by they, them pronouns. You know, we had a shmup earlier. We got a different kind of shmup here, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. And if you didn't see the Death Smiles run, please go back and watch the VOD of Death Smiles, because that was fantastic. Ray did a fantastic job. But with that, we can pretty much start. The timing is a little awkward. It doesn't start immediately on button press. It's when the screen shows the motorcycle that you see once and never again. But so I'll start it, and then we'll just do immediate, or I'll hit the button and we'll do an immediate start. So with that, let's just get this show on the road with a start of time. So yeah, welcome to a more traditional style of shmup, aka shoot 'em up. This one is, if you've ever played Super Smash TV on the Super Nintendo, this is going to feel very cozy and very similar, because this is an homage to Super Smash TV.
Yeah, so important things to look for here is if you look in the bottom left as Asuka's killing enemies, there's a bar that's filling up. When that fills up all the way with white, where you're going to get a random power-up, 1 of 5. We're hoping for a multi-shot is the one we want the most at the moment. Weapon range is alright, but we want to do more damage, because that's the thing that we can get early on that will help us clear these waves faster. We did get the power shot, which just lets you charge up that big laser. It's really nice range. You'll also see that sometimes Asuka will dash right next to enemies before she fires it. It's got a little bit of an explosion around the character as well, so you can just do a lot of damage with the power shot when we're getting through these waves.
Yeah, well, I did triple dash. The game's being mean to me, kind of. What I'm doing right now, or did for this particular level, it's a little bit of a manipulation to get the enemies to spawn on the screen faster. It's just me going over to a specific spot on the screen. So the game's like, oh, okay, you got over there, so that means the enemies are probably already dead, so we can adjust for that. Much like in here, just coming over a little bit faster. That enemy, that big one, was like, oh, okay, yeah. If you're over here, that means other enemies are dead. Hey, there's weapon spread.
Yay, there's more damage. The other thing that Asuka is doing is that at the end of each stage, your character is going to run to the same place to transition to the next arena. So Asuka is just remembering where the character runs to and is positioning herself over there right before the animation starts, just so the character has less distance to travel, saves a few seconds on each screen transition. If she does it right, then she can also dash into it with the right timing, and it'll go even a little bit faster as well. Just a lot of little optimizations on positioning, not just clearing the enemies fast, but you want to clear to the end and standing in the correct position just to save a little bit more time.
And what's actually nice is I got the ideal, well, close to ideal thing. Basically, you want the shield last. The shield gives you one free, oops, I made a mistake, but it does nothing for, like, doing damage, so what you'll see here is, as soon as I get the final power-up, which is you, I actually get a little bit stronger, and that weapon spread gets even more spread, and I can do more funsies.
Yeah, so currently just a quick overview of our power-ups. Our weapon spread means we shoot more bullets, they go longer. Asuka can dash more times in succession, and each dash is actually going to do a little bit of damage because there's one that we picked up. We didn't mention the dash explosion. So just have a really nice, good damage setup, and this point, we're just gonna try to blast through things. We will be changing the special shot that we have in the bottom left, which is currently the power shot. Certain points for bosses in particular, different items are going to be more valuable. But in general, through these arena stages, the Smash TV sections, the power shot's just the best.
And that was actually a little not kosher on my side. There we go. Did not hit the power shot that I was hoping for right there, but right here, or that one, hi friend. But with that, we are actually already in the first boss, and for this boss, every boss is weak to a... Ooh, I missed it. I'll have to wait. They're weak to a specific weapon, and this guy... Oh, that's
Oh, it timed
awkward.
out. Okay, that's unfortunate.
That's alright.
Asuka was trying to get the sword because it's normally not a very good weapon.
It is a terrible weapon.
It's got very short range, it can be used very quickly, and it does a lot of damage, but the range is the big issue. But this boss doesn't move, it just rotates, so ideally you just dash through the boss back and forth, just swinging the sword, and it dies a little bit faster, but it's not too rough of a boss. Asuka should be able to get through it cleanly.
Yeah, I'm pretty much just at that point using the dash explosion to do the majority of my damage there, because it's just, I'll get it faster than the power shot. It's nice because since I actually got my shield down, which is nice, but I don't have to go fishing for the power shot now, which in turn speeds this up a little bit, but a little unfortunate. That's alright. We'll survive.
Yeah, and as we progress into the second world, there's going to be a few more things to look out for. If you ever see a little blue console, it's like a little arcade cabinet, Asuka's going to be trying very carefully not to shoot those. Because if you destroy one of those, it activates the secret exit, which is, instead of advancing to the next stage, you advance onto a secret stage. It's sort of like just an opportunity for bonus points. But it doesn't advance you through the world, it just... You have to complete that stage before you can continue, and that makes it take longer. So we didn't specify earlier. We were doing a score showcase with my run. Asuka is going for speed. This is a speed run, so we don't like extra stages, especially since they don't let you skip anything. So there may be points where Asuka is aiming in what looks like a suboptimal direction. There's one of the arcade cabinets.
Arcade cabinet. To show you what those look like.
They look like
they're sneaky.
Yeah. So it may look like, why isn't Asuka shooting directly at the enemies? It's like, well, because she's being very careful not to destroy the arcade cabinets on a couple of these stages.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that are just in very, very cheeky spots. One that you don't come across in this particular difficulty is it's in this very obvious spot where the game's like, oh, maybe I should attack the enemy right here. Because there's this really giant Cyclops. It's like, I'm standing right here and I'm going to try to kill you. So you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to shoot you. And the game says, oh, no, actually behind this enemy is a secret exit that is literally 6 stages long and adds at least like a minute and a half to your time.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I mean, it makes sense, like game design wise. You want to have one that's very easy for somebody to destroy on accident so they'll learn what it does. It's very mean when you're trying to go for speed.
Oh, very much so.
The other thing you'll notice is that these little green guys hanging out, those are humans. If you're familiar with Resogun, another game that Asuka likes to speedrun, they exist in that too. But unlike in Resogun, where sometimes they can help you get extra lives and other things, they're purely points here. So we'll pick them up if they're nearby, or if they're just in the way while we're fighting occasionally. But it's not really helping us go faster. It's not a priority.
Yeah. They're there, it's just one of those things. But this is one of my, for some reason, favorite levels on this particular world, because I like the spawn right here. There's just some really cool manipulations that you can do to get the enemies, those enemies to spawn at the same time. It's like, yeah, it's fun. This one's a little bit long. It's pretty much me just waiting for enemies to spawn, so if you have any announcements or any other goodies or whatnot, Dane, feel free to hop right in.
I do. We got a $5 donation from Nathan the Lucario. With a comment, I had no idea that there was a Mario DDR game, so I figured I'd get the full course of what you've got to offer. And that is going toward the incentive for the DDR Mario and Luigi showcase, the extra song. So be sure to get your donations in and put them toward any of the incentives. You can get your money to go a little bit farther toward shaping the marathon how you want to see it happen. So be sure to get your donations in, and when you do so, put them toward one of our many incentives.
Yes. Thank you for that donation. Oh, I hate those spinny Beyblades. Like, if you shoot them with regular bullets, they split up. And then if you shoot them with a power-up or power weapon, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll die. Without causing you too much heck. So if you're not paying attention, just shooting other things, those enemies are like, well, actually, you made a mistake. It's like, oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, we're getting closer to the second boss, just a couple more stages to go. And Asuka is once again to be looking to change weapons here. This boss, we're looking to pick up the laser. Just going to help us do more damage. It'll become clear when you see where the boss is positioned, why that's going to be a good weapon as well.
Oh, this is the funniest boss to do damage to, as I ran right into it without my triple dash. But, so what I'm doing right now is using the dash explosion to my advantage and just dashing right into its face while wailing on it with the laser. So I'll get my 3 bonus shots with the dash explosion. And then also hit the laser. So it's, Yeti Kong doesn't really have much time to do much of anything to me. It's great.
Yeah, and this point on, the bosses tend to do some pretty rapid flashing when Asuka is attacking them, so when we get to the bosses, that is a potential moment if you are susceptible to photosensitivity or other issues. The bosses tend to be big enough that might be a concern, but I'll remind you when we get to the next boss.
Yeah. There, and you know there's an arcade cabinet somewhere right around there, so I'm just a little careful. Or I just do that. So when you die, you lose, or like one of the power-ups that you have kind of gets pooped out of you. So you have to go pick it up. Now, if you don't pick it up before you die again, you temporarily lose it, which is a little annoying, but that actually worked out in my favor just because I was able to get both the power-up back right away, and my bar filled up so I could get the shield. So that bar on the very bottom left corner of the screen, that tells me when the next power-up is going to drop. So I always, if I lose my shield, I always have my eyes on that power meter, so I know roughly how long I have to not make a mistake for before something appears.
Yeah, and as long as you have the shield, you can be a little bit more risky with dodging and like trying to position the power shots for more aggressively. But once it's down, you just have to wait a little bit longer before you can start playing super risky again.
Yeah, like right there, I'm being a little careful because that arcade cabinet just on the left there.
Yeah, we do not like the arcade cabinets.
No. There's one particular one in World 5 that a shiny black phoenix, who is arguably like the best person in at this game, when he was teaching me to run, he always wanted to know why I was always shooting to the right. I'm like, well, I'm avoiding the arcade cabinet. He goes, no, you're shooting directly at the arcade cabinet, and it's a miracle you haven't hit the heckin' thing. I'm like, oh yeah, now I see it. He just started laughing.
That's very funny.
Like, sorry. Just one of those like trials. Ooh, that was a little awkward. Now, with lives, like I get 5 lives in Rookie, and I can find extra lives in various hidden areas throughout the worlds. Now, they're usually hidden in bonus containers and other fun things, so I'm kind of on the lookout for specific containers that I know have extra lives. On higher difficulties, you don't start with a full 7-5 lives. You'll start with like 3 or 2, or in some cases 1. Right there was a mismanipulation on my part to try to get the enemies to spawn a little bit quicker, but it's alright. This is an awkward level because you're just kind of sitting waiting for a little while as enemies spawn. Also say hi to the arcade cabinet right over there. But there's nothing you can do until the enemy's like, oh wait, that's our cue. Let's go and fix that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that is a weird, awkward pause.
It's bizarre, I'll put it that way. And it just, there's no rhyme or reason. It's like, actually, you're gonna wait. Like, oh, I guess I will. Thanks.
I guess I expected it to take longer if you didn't completely clear the first wave.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, this particular level, if you're fast enough, you can actually beat those extra humans, or the extra spawns before they get there. So that's kind of like the barometer of, oh, okay, yeah, I'm doing fine. This arcade cabinet to the left, this is one that notorious for me, so that one right there. If I'm not paying attention, I will inadvertently shoot to the left. It's like, oh, that's, that hurts. That hurts a lot. That's alright.
So coming up on the next boss, we want the rocket launcher.
Housemarque loves making bosses with some RNG component, and they always tend to be on the 3rd level or the 3rd world. And this giant motorcycle driving butt is no exception. We don't like it. In this house, we do not like this enemy. It's the speed run, especially for boss fights, very much appreciates and favors very aggressive gameplay. And this boss likes to just shoot out random things and move in random locations. So you just kind of have to work around that, especially when you're trying to hit them with your dash and it decides not to. And does that. What a butt.
Rocket launcher.
So what I'm trying to do is skip as many phases as I can and send them right into the final desperation phase, which, yep, there it is. That's not ideal for me, but that's alright. No big deal.
Yeah, so what Asuka mentioned earlier is playing aggressively, and that's using the triple dash there. Chain the dashes together, because each dash does a little bit of an explosion, does some damage, and if you chain them together, then you can ideally get in and get out of those attacks. Just didn't quite line up on the first couple attempts, but it's alright, we got through it.
Yeah. And now I have to... Nope, didn't get power shot. That's unfortunate.
Oh, did you not? It looked like you got it.
It's, the hitboxes are very eh. And just in general, what makes this game very scary in some cases, the hitboxes for picking up some power-ups and the dashes are a little questionable. You just kind of have to make do with it. This is also another one where I'm very carefully dodging, shooting to the right. Because, oh look, there's another arcade cabinet! That's alright, I can pick up my power-up here. Where are you? Smart bomb? That's fine. That's kind of a scary enemy because it's right next to another arcade cabinet.
At this point, there's just so many more arcade cabinets.
Yep. It's pretty much just knowing where they are. The arcade cabinet locations never change. It's just dodging them. Like in this level, there's one to the right, literally right there. So I kind of position myself right next to it, so I am not tempted to shoot at it. They can take a few direct shots, but there's always the let's not tempt fate, please. So I'm like, oh, this is fine. It'll take it a few shots, and then the arcade cabinet's like, actually, no, not this time. This is fine, TM.
So you notice that among the new enemies we've got some enemies that are focusing these lasers at Asuka, and they kind of start a dim color, and Asuka can move through them while they're dim, and then they light up bright red. You can still dash through them while they're lit up, just gotta be careful once they fully activate.
Also, a point of note, pink is bad, purple is deadly. General rule of thumb. All the bullets are pink. There's also, in later levels, you will see purple. Purple cannot be dashed through, whereas pink can. And that's actually pretty key in the World 5 boss, because you'll deal with both pink and purple lasers.
Yeah, and if you have color issues or contrast issues, if you look at the ones where you can't dash through, there's kind of like an inky swirl around it as well. So if you have trouble determining the color, you can just look for the one that has the extra deadly looking effect on it, and it should be pretty obvious.
Yeah, they do try to make it a little obvious. This is another one of those hurry up and wait levels.
That was a good example there. Asuka stopped, had the power shot lined up, but the explosion it does around the character when you fire it took out the one that was behind her. It was very good positioning.
Yeah, and using the dash explosions to take out those beam cannons is a little scary because, again, the hitboxes are very questionable. This particular level is very unique in that it's the one level where I'm actually going to be gunning to pick up the rocket launcher before I get to the final boss. The big reason of that one is you save a little bit of time, not much to write home about, but it's just one of those tiny optimizations. Speaking of which, the next boss, which is right now, is my favorite boss. It's one of the easier ones to play casually, and arguably one of the most difficult to play speedrun wise, like aggressively. Good old Enforcer. Remember the ring? Boop. Wait till you.
Yeah, if you look, Asuka's just doing the same thing, trying to dash aggressively through the boss when she has an opportunity, because each dash gives that little tiny explosion around the character, just a little bit more damage.
There we go. Alright, oh, you are staying, that's fine. Come on. There it is. Yeah, so you can actually, what I was doing with the dashes, you can effectively stun lock Enforcer Prime from doing more of its abilities by those dashes and kind of face checking him to the point where he doesn't move, which is, it actually worked out quite perfectly, that one. Alright, this is actually World 5. It's the last one of rookie difficulty. And yeah, okay. Like right there, you saw that the dash didn't quite work because hitboxes are a little awkward.
Yeah. So what Asuka was referring to is that if you play on Experienced or higher, there is a World 6. On Rookie, World 5 is the last world. And then if you, on the higher difficulties, manage to 1 CC, there's a whole bonus extra boss at the end, but not going to see that today since we're playing on Rookie.
Yeah, the final boss is not necessarily the final boss, and even on higher difficulties, the final dash explosion. Why you do this?
That was real weird.
Yeah.
What happened there?
It just dash explosion said no.
Yeah, that was weird.
Dash Explosion was tired, I guess.
Dash Explosion wanted to take a nap.
Apparently. This is fine. Okay. Yeah. Playing that one a little cautiously. Okay, so this level. This is the one I mentioned where I had been firing to the right the entire time. The secret exit is to the right, not to the left. So I had been tempting fate this entire time while playing it, and Phoenix was just letting it happen. Like, Phoenix, why you do this? And usually the response to that is kind of funny. It's like, okay, yeah, you're right, but still.
I was gonna say, to be fair, that does sound pretty funny. So you just saw that there, these those purple lasers that got the swirly effect on them, those are the ones that you cannot dash through.
Yes. Like I said, you'll see in the boss fight, the Architect, there's a specific spot where it's just going to shoot off these lasers, and there's one I'll be able to dash through and one I will not be able to dash through. So I have to pay attention to that.
Yeah, so you have to pay attention and quickly identify which direction is safe. That's always a fun mechanic.
Oh yeah, totally. Not scary at all. Ah! Like you saw those rainbow-colored kind of sparkles right then. That was me hitting the arcade cabinet.
Oh, is that what that was? Okay.
That is exactly what that was. So that's the warning of, are you sure about this? No, but thanks for the warning.
I think that's intended to be a, hey, you're doing a good thing, keep doing it, but
Yeah.
we're playing for speed. We don't like the rainbow sparkles, but,
No.
you know.
Definitely not in this house.
You can compensate in chat by spamming your pride emotes of choice, since we're going to be avoiding the rainbow sparkles.
Yeah. So this is this particular one is a go for broke, if you will, where to dash through those, or to get through those purple barriers before they spawn, you just triple dash and hope for the best, because the enemies won't fully spawn until you get to the other side of those. It's just kind of one of those things. I missed that. That's all right.
So we are getting closer to the final boss, only a couple stages away. And the final boss is probably one of the bigger sprites, so the other ones, you know, haven't been super big, but again, if you have some photosensitivity issues, once we get there, might be a good opportunity to look away, because he's going to be flashing rather aggressively when Asuka is blowing him the heck up.
Yeah, the shield can be a little on the, excuse you, a little bit on the bright, flashy side. Not me dashing into everything, because why not? Yeah, dash explosions, if done correctly, will kill enemies, which is fantastic. But as you've seen, sometimes dash explosions say, not today.
Yeah, it's pretty precise. If you watch the character closely when Asuka dashes, the dash explosion is not big. So you gotta make sure you're spacing it well. Asuka's been making it look way easier than it is.
I was about to say, why aren't things spawning? That was a little awkward. There we go. Yeah, same thing with those dash dash power shots. It's it takes some practice to get the lineup just right. With that, we are actually rocket launch. Okay, I have time. So I have to wait for that cycle to spin around to number 2, which is laser. And yeah, we are at the final boss. Which, point of note with the boss itself, which is the center of the red thing, every phase, it's gonna look slightly different. Like you're kind of peeling off the armor each time. So like right there, you can already see some of the boss inside. But right here, everything's pink, so I just dash through wherever I want because I can. This particular phase, I am trying to bait out. Oh, that's not good. This is fine. I was trying to bait out that purple laser to give me a little bit of wiggle room on the left so I can still do damage. We are dashing to the left right now. Because those purples are mean. Time is coming up, I will let you know. Time's on the explosion, I should say. So it's close. Okay, now. Alright. With that, it is time. One more dash for good measure. And
GG, Asuka.
GG's.
And that is Nex Machina. It's a super fun game. It's got a super fantastic soundtrack. The theme song that's playing right now is actually one of my favorite gaming soundtracks. But it's a great, more traditional shmup. It's available on both PlayStation Network and Steam. Steam does get a very funny, very rare glitch where sometimes you switch to a different level and the entire level just flips upside down.
What?
It just happens. We haven't figured out why. But what I also love about it is, in actuality, the PlayStation and the Steam runs, there's really no time difference between them from a speedrun standpoint. So they actually compete against each other. I like that. But yeah. So with that, Ray, where can they, I know you said it before, but where can they reach you?
So I very rarely stream on my own personal channel, twitch.tv/railcoon, but I am one of the producers for Games Done Quick. So if you head on over to twitch.tv/Games Done Quick, we have a lot of daily content starting at 7 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturdays and Sundays. So I'm usually hanging out there when I'm doing my show days, and you can come say hi while we're just showing off speedruns every day.
Yeah. And Ray is a good, so she give them lots of loves.
You should also stick around because Asuka's gonna be here again.
Yeah, we're gonna go from a shoot 'em up to toilet paper.
Or roll them up.
Shoot 'em to roll 'em up. Yes.
Roll 'em up. I wasn't ready for that joke, but here we are. Alrighty. Well, thank you very much for the awesome run of Nex Machina. And like they were both saying, don't go anywhere because up next we're going to have a game. Is it a game?
Yes,
It's
a game.
Technically, it's a game. I guess technically, yeah, it's a game of give me toilet paper hand percent. And yeah, that's gonna be a thing that's gonna happen on this channel. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Alrighty, and we are back with more Power Up with Pride 2023. Again, thank you all so much for joining us. While we were watching that last run, we got a raid from Happy Bear, who also put in a $5 donation with a comment, "I couldn't raid without leaving a donation to support my LGBTQ family. I'm so proud of you all, and I'm proud to be a woman. Good luck to all the runners, and let's make this event the best ever." I was struggling a little bit there.